You summoned me, Master?
Yes. Slick. You've been begging for a field assignment. I have one.
Finally. Who's the victim?
Her name is Grace. 25. Worshipper. Obedient. Still pure. But exhausted. No job. No husband. No breakthrough. No answers from heaven. She's questioning her prayers. Questioning her worth.
Ooh. Easy catch. Should I send in a toxic boyfriend? Or maybe a fake prophecy?
No. She's not weak. Yet. That's why we must start quietly. We don't go after her actions first. We go after her identity.
Her identity?
Yes. Look back. In the wilderness, we told Jesus, "If you are the Son of God." We weren't testing hunger. We were testing awareness. Would he act out of doubt or certainty?
So, it was never about bread?
No. Bread was just the stage. Jesus could create bread. He wasn't lacking it. The real trick was to make him act without confidence in who he is. Because when you don't know who you are, you'll chase things to prove your worth.
Master, how did we really think we could win in the wilderness? I mean, he was the Son of God. Why did we even try?
Because we never needed him to fall. We only needed him to forget. Forget who he was. Forget what was spoken. Forget what the Father had just declared. That is our oldest law, the law of words. We don't forge chains. We forge sentences. We don't attack the body. We attack belief. The moment we said, "If you are the Son of God," we weren't just testing hunger. We were testing identity. And identity is the gate to destiny. Do you know how many we've conquered with just one sentence? Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I missed it. Maybe God's tired of me. They say it once. Then twice. Then it becomes truth in their spirit. And when they repeat it, it becomes law. Even their God begins with speech. Let there be light. Abraham was called father of nations while still childless. Heaven speaks identity before results. We interrupt that flow. We speak the opposite, just quietly enough for them to hear it and claim it. We don't have to curse them. We just give them a script. And they'll curse themselves. Eve didn't fall because she was rebellious. She fell because we introduced a possibility. Did God really say? That's all it takes. A seed of suspicion. We don't snatch their crown. We make them question if they ever had one. It worked on Eve. It almost worked on him. And with grace, we'll do the same. We won't scream. We'll suggest. We won't chain her. We'll confuse her. And when she starts repeating it, when her words match ours, we'll have legal ground. She'll still sing. Still post verses. Still go to church. But deep inside, she'll doubt she's chosen. And that's all we need.
God, why do I feel like I'm falling behind? Everyone around me seems to be moving, testimonies, engagements, promotions, and I'm still here, same place, same prayers, same silence. I know what you said, I know I'm supposed to trust you, but this silence is loud, God. And I'm tired of pretending I'm not hurting. I worship you, but I feel empty inside. I smile, but I'm breaking. God just came through for me again. I don't even ask for much, just a sign, a whisper, a crack in the sky, anything to remind me that I'm not crazy for still believing. Man shall not live by bread alone. I get it, God, I do, but what do I do when even your word feels far? Maybe I'm not strong enough. Maybe you speak to others more clearly. Maybe I just don't carry what they carry. Maybe I'm not as chosen as I thought I was. I don't know who I am anymore. I used to know. But now, I just feel like I'm chasing your approval, instead of resting in your love. Maybe this calling wasn't meant for me. Maybe I was wrong.
She has said it. She didn't need to curse. She didn't need to rebel. She just needed to speak, and she did. And now, heaven must honor the sound that left her mouth. Because that is the law of dominion. He gave them the earth, and he gave them language. The moment she released that phrase, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I'm not chosen, she didn't just speak doubt. She signed the contract. What they don't know is that we don't need storms. We don't need demons knocking down their doors. All we need is a whisper from their mouth. They'll say it when they're tired. They'll say it when they're waiting. They'll say it when heaven is quiet. And once they say it, we don't have to fight anymore. Because creation respects sound. And destruction does too. The universe doesn't respond to emotion. It responds to voice. It was his voice that said, "Let there be light," and so there was light. That's how it started. And that's how it ends. With sound. That's why we watch them closely. Not just what they do, but what they say. Because most of them love God in their actions, but betray him with their lips. They sing in church, but doubt in private. They post scriptures, but confess death in their rooms. And so they wonder why their lives feel delayed, while their tongues are speeding up destruction. She said it. And now, we have ground. Legal ground. Not by force. Not by sin. But by agreement. She didn't say, "I hate God." She said, "Maybe I'm not enough." That's all we needed. That one sentence. That tiny fracture. Because words are doors, and whispers are invitations. Her words were soft, but her spirit screamed them. And in the spirit realm, volume is not measured in decibels. It's measured in agreement. And now we'll build on it. We'll let her serve. We'll let her sing. We'll let her read and fast and lead. But with a silent war in her heart that never sleeps. Because when a believer starts faking strength, they stop asking for help. And that's when we win. Do you know how many leaders we've broken this way? Not by scandal, but by slow leaks. Small confessions. Little sighs. Tiny sentences that sound like honesty, but carry death. We taught them to call it vulnerability, but really, it's verbal surrender. They don't realize, when you speak weakness over yourself, you're not venting. You're prophesying. That's why we never rush. We wait. We suggest. We hint. And then they say it. Because it's not enough for us to accuse them. He won't allow that. But if they accuse themselves, he can't interfere. That's the code. And so, she said it. We don't need to crash her house. We don't need to send heartbreak. We don't need to ruin her reputation. We just need her to keep talking. Slightly wrong. Barely off. Just enough to drain her hope. Just enough to keep her in church. But out of confidence. Just enough to convince her that delay is denial. Just enough to make her believe that he speaks to others more than her. And the more she speaks like that, the more her prayers hit a ceiling. Not because heaven is silent, but because she stopped believing it could be different. We won't touch her hands. We'll bind her mouth. Because the mouth was made for decrees. And when the mouth forgets its authority, the life will follow. That's why her worship feels dry. That's why her tears don't break her anymore. That's why her joy is fake. Because her words built a cage. And she locked the door herself. She has said it. And that's all we needed.
So many are falling. Not because God failed them, but because somewhere along the way, they agreed with a lie. The devil doesn't need your destiny. He just needs your doubt. He'll whisper it through silence, plant it through disappointment, and wrap it in logic. But today you saw the truth. You saw how he operates. And now, you must decide. Will you continue speaking death with your own mouth? Will you continue believing what God never said about you? Or will you rise and believe again? Because you are not forgotten. You are not disqualified. You are not ordinary. You are who God says you are, even when nothing around you looks like it. This story ends here. But your story does not have to end in deception. If this story opened your eyes, like this video. Comment and tell us how it spoke to you. Share it with someone who needs this truth. And subscribe to the channel, because we are here to expose darkness and bring light to a generation. This is how the devil operates, and why many are falling. Thank you for watching. God bless you.